philosophy for 3 years in National Autonomous University of Mexico, UNAM, especially focused on problemas de filosofía en México y América Latina. And I am very glad because today I have the opportunity to talk about the song of Xochipilli. Xochipilli was the god of songs in the Aztec worldview, and because this research symposium is related with identity, I choose especially this topic in order to show some of the results of my research. Currently I am doing a PhD in Leiden University in the Department of Heritage of Indigenous Peoples, and one of my goals is to research about cultural heritage in Mexico, especially with the Nahua people. Well, the aim of this presentation is to display a systematic analysis of the information about Xochipilli. Xochipilli is the Prince of Flowers, is the literal translation, founded in historical sources because a lack of studies related with. Xochipilli was considered as the deity of song, poetry, flowers, happiness, games, pleasure, and fertility. The word for poetry in pre-colonial Nahuatl is a kind of a neologism because now we use the word Xochitl, that means florid words, in order to refer to poetry. This is not an exhaustive study, but I consider that for the moment is enough to feel the void related with this issue. This is the outline of the presentation. Firstly, I will be exposing the genealogy of Xochipilli based on the information provided by historical sources and the Codex Borgia. This is a proposal based on iconography. In the second section, my attention will be focused on the analysis of the calendarical meanings of Maxwell Xochitl. The literal translation is 5 flower, and this will be relevant because nowadays we don't know which was the musical scale used by the Aztecs in pre-colonial time, but probably they use a pentaphone scale. And the god of song, for example, is related with the number 5. This is the main reason that provides meaning to the name. In section 3, the research will focus on the analysis of rituals and ceremonies consecrated to Xochipilli. In section 4, the sacredness of the game will be studied, especially the link between Xochipilli and ritual games such as Patoli and Tlachtli, the ball game, that is very well known. In section 5, the links between Xochipilli, the nobleman who gives flower, and the plant world are analyzed. And in section 6, the song to Xochipilli will be presented and analyzed. These 6 sections conform the body of an article. The article is already done, and now I'll be presenting a brief summary of the article. This is Xochipilli. We can recognize Xochipilli because he has a hand painted in the face with the number 5 here, and the genealogy. In this study, I used to compare the ancient Mexican manuscript with the historical sources, in order to match. And in order, for example, in this research, I used 3 kinds of methodology: iconography, historiography, and philology. At this time, there was another god called Pilsintecutli, and his wife was called Xochiquetzal, who had a son named Xochipilli, and another who was not theirs, who was called Nanahuaton, whose father was Itzpapalotl, and his mother Cuscamiao, which took body and human figure when it seemed God to them. When then the gods want to make the son, all these together and others, they did penance to be able to merit being son. They offered the 3 great gods precious pearls, incense, and other very rich things. The source is the Histoire du Mexique, and as can you appreciate, all these manuscripts, all these documents are outside Mexico. There are in Bodleian Library, there are in the Library of Florence, there are in the Library of Madrid, and it's important because, for example, these sources are isolated from indigenous communities.